Hey friends, welcome to the Friday check-in with Life Coach Jen. I'm so glad you're here. So before we get started, I'm just going to give you a recap of what I'm going to talk about because YouTube told me people are only watching the beginning of my videos and I want to make sure you get to the good stuff. So today I'm going to talk about how to talk to your kids about the affair and if you should talk to them. So stay tuned for that. First of all, I'm going to share about my podcast this week. If you haven't listened to it or you want to watch it on YouTube, please go watch it. It is number 219, When a Double Life Destroys a Marriage and How Hope Returns, with guest KB Adamson. So my guest, she is remaining anonymous because of various reasons that you can probably understand, but she wrote a book and I usually listen to books, which I still count. I don't know. There's probably a debate in the world if you listen to Audible or read. I did read her book and it was so good. This is her book and you can go order it on Amazon and I would highly recommend. It's not that big. It is so good. If you like to hear other people's stories about betrayal, even if it's nothing like yours, she captures the feeling that you have after you discover your spouse has been leading a different life. Her spouse, literally, they were married for 40 years and he was going to strip clubs, hiring prostitutes, going to massage parlors, very deceptive. And anyways, so she discovers this. She ends up getting divorced and she wrote this book. So go check it out. It is really good. I really loved it. I really appreciated her being so vulnerable. So we recorded a podcast. So go listen to it and let me know what you think. And it is on YouTube. You'll just see me because she is remaining anonymous, but please go subscribe to my YouTube channel and so you can get any updates. So that's what's going on. So it's very good. I think you'll find it very interesting. Now, for whatever reason, this is a controversial issue and I get it. So everyone knows I have 4 kids. Now my kids are adults. When I got divorced, my youngest was 15 years old. So when I got divorced, I agreed to not tell my kids that my husband was having another affair. Now in 2018, he actually moved out with another woman. And so we did tell our kids because he made it very obvious. People in the neighborhood were seeing him. So there was a lot of talk going on. So they did know their dad had an affair. And at that time, I was going to get divorced, but they were devastated. We ended up reconciling. I didn't get divorced. So they knew that this had happened one other time. They didn't know about the other times because I hadn't told anyone about those times, but they did know about this other time. So knowing that, when we finally officially got divorced, I agreed not to tell the kids. Now, I did not agree with that. I just needed to get divorced. I needed to just be very neutral. I didn't want to cause any ruffled feathers with him because I was also a stay-at-home mom. We were separating our assets and I just wanted to be compliant, which was my personality anyways, right? I'll just do as you say so I can get what I want. Anyways, so I agreed to that, even though inside it was killing me. I was just so devastated because he was having another affair. This is what I've learned about kids. First of all, they can handle the truth more than they can a lie, just like you and I. Just like how painful it was for our spouse to lie to us right to our face and tell us, oh, we love you, we're fine, you're imagining this, you didn't see anything. That text message was just from a random number. What are you talking about? Like all those lies and all those little things in our heart and our stomach that we were like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't sound right. Our kids are feeling all of that. Even if, like in my marriage, we weren't yelling or screaming, we weren't even really fighting, but there was a constant walking on eggshells that was very apparent. In my mind, I was absorbing all the walking on eggshells. My kids were feeling it too. They felt all of it, even though they didn't say anything. It's like, the families that we just don't talk about things like that. And I want to encourage you, we need to start talking about things like this because our kids, they're going to have hard experiences. We might as well start with us to hear the hard things, hear the truth. Now, you don't need to go into every gory detail. Now, I'll just share with what happened in my story and then you can apply it to your own, or you're welcome to ask me any questions. But kids were teenagers, young adult. And so after I got divorced, like literally 2 weeks, maybe. They were introduced to this girl by my husband. Hey, this is a girl that I just met. They immediately knew he was lying to them. They felt it. They're like, so of course they didn't say anything to him. He came home crying. And when your 15-year-old son is crying, you're like, what is going on? And I had no idea that he had gone to his dad. He had taken all of his friends, like there was probably plus friends that he had taken to go visit his dad's cool condo downtown, had a swimming pool and all the things to go hang out. And then he meets this girl. And I'm sure it was awkward, but came home and asked me. And I had decided already, like if my kids ever ask me, I'm going to tell them the truth. And so I would encourage you, like sometimes you could wait for them to ask you, hey, why did you and dad really get divorced? Why did you and mom really get divorced? I would be honest. You don't have to give specifics. You don't have to go into the drama. You don't have to go into the story, but otherwise, guess what happens to their brains? They ruminate just like you and I do. They start imagining and they think, what if it's my fault? What if I did something? And chances are they were seeing things because my daughter, I found out after this that she had seen her dad downtown with this girl. And he, of course, tried to like say, you don't know what you saw. He went and gaslit her. And so she held that in until after we got divorced. And then she was able to share that, because she just was so shocked. It was just devastating. So here her dad lied to her. My son comes home. He just asked me, did dad have an affair? And I said, yes, he did. And in that moment, that's all I had to say to him. And he, of course, cried and was sad. And I can't believe it. But what that told him in that moment, that my mom is trustworthy. She will be honest with me when I ask her the hard question. And it said the exact opposite about that. He is not willing to tell me the truth. He will lie to my face. And we don't want that. And I didn't want that. I begged him to be honest. I begged him, I promise, you cloaking your life with shame, be honest about what you did. The kids can handle the honesty way more than they can the lie. And I'm telling you, if you've been in a family with family secrets, those secrets always come out. And they might come out later in life. You never know. They're going to come out. Secrets rarely stay secrets. And even people, when they die, then their family finds out their secrets. And it's even more upsetting because then they can't even talk to their parent about this. So I just encourage you, obviously, appropriate time. It might not be until they're 8 and then they start asking you questions if you do get divorced when they're younger. And you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, your mom is such a blah, 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 or your dad. You don't have to make them the bad guy, but just be like, yeah. And that's a moment you can repair with your child, especially like for me, I realized my nervous system, I wasn't showing up as the best mom. The mom that I thought I was in my mind was not showing up in reality like that. So I was able to do a lot of repair. And it's not like they want to talk about it all the time, but they just know in that moment, it was like a magical moment, I think. Even though I was telling them something really hard, that they knew my mom was willing to say the hard thing and that I was vulnerable with them, that I had integrity, I was honest, and I did my best. I was there to listen. I was able to talk to my other son because I thought I am not holding this secret anymore. I am divorced. I'm officially divorced. It's legal. And so it felt safe for me to say it and not in a, oh my gosh, can you believe your dad did this? That's not how it went. And so I would just encourage you. And if you are still staying married, even if you're still staying married, I think it's important for our kids to know we're human. We make mistakes because guess what's going to happen? They're going to get married. They're going to have marriage struggles and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, my parents have the most perfect marriage. That's a lie. It takes a lot of work to rebuild your marriage after betrayal. And I think that's something worthwhile to share with your kids. We don't have to give all the details, but I think as a learning lesson, as a teaching lesson, as a way to say, I'm not perfect. Marriage isn't perfect. No one's marriage is perfect. And we're here to support you. We've done the hard work. We know that you can too. We have faith in you. So that's my personal opinion. Now, obviously, sometimes little kids see things and know things. Got to be honest with them. If they've seen it, don't lie to them. Don't try to protect what you're doing. It's a false idea that you're protecting your spouse, but that's just layering more shame into their life. The more open and honest in a level that people can understand, the better. Now, I get if you get divorced and your spouse is adamant that you cannot share and your kids are underage, you don't want them to suffer. You don't want you to suffer. So it could be when they're 18 and they start asking, hey dad, why did you and mom get divorced? And you can sit them down and say, hey, I've been waiting a long time to share this with you. I really want to share this with you. I'm not sharing it with you because I want to be mean to your mom, but this is the truth. And the truth always wins. I'd love to know what you think. I know it feels scary to tell our kids the truth, but our kids deserve to know, because the other problem is they had felt something, they might have seen something, then they're wondering, and then they think it's okay to just sweep things under the rug. And what we want is connection with our kids, and the way we do it is by modeling. If we want our kids to tell us the truth and not lie to us, we need to be honest with them. We need to tell the uncomfortable truth, because the elephant in the room is going to be there until we announce it and allow it to leave. And so some families have elephants in their rooms for years and decades. I think that's a losing strategy, so I wouldn't encourage it. So I hope that helps. I just know for me, I would have rather my spouse look at me and say, I'm cheating on you. That's why I want to get a divorce. I want to be with someone else. That's a painful thing to hear, but to be lied to be manipulated, to be gaslit, to be love bombed while he's having a secret affair, way more damaging, way more depth. Okay, so what's going on in my life? If you want to work with me, I'm doing a couples certification through Terry Real, the Relational Life Institute, and I'm so excited about it. I'm learning so much, and I'm navigating how to do this. And also, I've been thinking about maybe I'll do some 6-week beta testing, because I know it's a big commitment, 12 weeks. If you're interested at all, I'd love for you just to reach out and we can figure something out. And so I have that going on. My kids all had birthdays. I had 2 kids born in July. So I celebrated my son's 21st birthday, my daughter's 26th birthday, and something I did not see on my bingo card is I had my mother-in-law over to my house last night. I've seen my mother-in-law one other time since I got divorced. I've been divorced for 4 years. I chose not to have contact with her because, first of all, she never reached out to me, and she went all in on her son's new wife, and that was very painful for me. She didn't reach out to my kids. So for my protection, my self preservation at that moment, I just couldn't have a relationship with her. Now she lives states away. She doesn't live where I live, so it wasn't that hard to do. But she accidentally called me a few months ago and she's like, I'm going to be in town. I would love to see where you live. So I decided to allow her to come over, and it actually went well. And I really listened to my body, paid attention to my nervous system, and that was a good sign for me. I really felt nothing, but I also didn't feel any negative emotion. I felt neutral, and I didn't really have I miss you. She's older, and the person I want to be is someone that cares and loves other people. And so I felt like it was a win for me and probably a win for her. She was thrilled. She told my son a million times how thrilled she was. So just know, if you can't do something today, maybe in 4 years, you'll be healed enough to do another hard thing. So I just wanted to share that with you. Anyways, have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you next week.